Good day and welcome to another edition of Outside of Genie, where we'll be looking today at the race meeting from the Vaal on the 15th of December. Guys, 10 days to Christmas. Please remember on Christmas there won't be any selections. I don't know, some of you is going to get withdrawal symptoms on Christmas Day. But anyway, before we start looking at the form and the betting, just a few things that I would like to touch on. First of all, outside of Genie, it's not a tipping service. What we do form analysis. By doing the form analysis, we select outsiders that we give to you, the punter. You add into your selections when they win or place. You stand in a power queue, laughing, thanking outsider Genie for this information that they gave you. Just now, I'm going to show you exactly what I mean if you use um, outside of Genie selections with including your selections. You'll see just now. Now, if you want to subscribe to this video, click on the subscribe button and ring the bell, and every time you will be notified. We are also on social media. Our contact details 083 585 5133. Now, guys, yesterday at Gravel, here's two examples of how much money you can make just following outsiders Genie's tips. And still, there are people that say, we don't believe in tipsters. We don't believe in tipsters. Guys, I can assure you, I can give you people's names that will vouch for me, that can say that I am the best in the country. And I'm not I'm not bragging. I am the best in the country in terms of giving outsider selections. I can't give you 9 winners a day. I can't give you 9 outsiders a day. But when I give you outsiders, they do sometimes arrive. Most often than not. Yesterday at race 2, Star over Cape Town, 20-1. And then how we work is I give you outright selection. That is the selection that I think is going to win the race. And then I give you 2 outsider selections in no particular order. So in race 2 yesterday, my one outsider selection won at 20-1. The second outsider selection, that ran second. So you got the exacta, we gave you the trifecta, and we gave you the quartet, paying 160 Rand for an exacta, 560 Rand for a 60 Rand box trifecta, and a quartet 4,040 Rand for 360 box quartet. Man, if you hit that, you've got your money back. Then in race 3, I'm sure a lot of you, when you got my selections yesterday morning, you lifted the eyebrow when you saw that in race number 6. Sorry, I meant to put that in. Race number 6, number 3, Teravadia. He was the bottom of the betting. He was 53-1. I think at race time there was 40-1 available on that horse. And I think some of you might have thought that, lifting an eyebrow, saying, how can I tip that horse? Now, that was also my each way value bet. And with an each way value bet, I always tell the guys, take win and place. Take a win, but also take a place. So let's say you took 50 Rand each way. You would have been 500 Rand up. You took 100 Rand each way. You would have made 1,000 Rand because that horse ran third, paying 10 Rand 20 a place. Guys, please bring me tipsters that give you horses at 10 Rand a place. Please, I want to meet those people because they ain't nobody like outsider Genie. And I'm blowing my own bugle because I can. I've been proven all over. And still people think, no, you're a tipster. We don't like tipsters. I'm not a tipster. I'm a form analyzer. If you took my 2 outsiders and you added onto your own play, you most probably would have had the quartet there. If you took my outsider here and you put it in swingers, exactas, and trifectas, you most probably would have caught it. So just some very important announcement. During the Cape Summer season, on major race days, the preview video will only be available to members subscribing to daily analysis service. And I can tell you, we started with Kenilworth last week. I gave the guys 4 winners in a row last Saturday in Kenilworth at good prices, including Celtic Sea, who drifted to 4-1. I'll give them Bulgarian, drifted to 4-1. So, you know, my advice is good. So you need to listen to the video and you need to get the selections so that you can make money. Now, if you want to subscribe now till the end of December, obviously my subscription is 500 Rand a month. We're now exactly in the middle of the month. So all it will cost you now is 250 Rand till the end of December. Okay. There's no offer that ends on 1st December. It is just, you can, if you join now, then you are, you're going to pay 250 till the end of the month. That is what's going to happen. Let me just save this changes quickly, if you don't mind. All right, so what do you get? What do you get? You get race by race selections, outright winner, and 2 possible outsider selections. We give you daily recommended all to come doubles. But I must say, there are some days that I don't give you any recommended doubles. And today at the Vaal is such a day that I'm not going to recommend any doubles because, guys, today's field, but I'll discuss that now. All right, then I give you a best bets of the day. The other day I gave a best bet, Sweet Sensation, and you're going to get tired of the story. But it is such a good story. The horse was 7-2, best bet of the day. Then it drifted to 11-1 at the jump for the best bet of the day. At Fairview on Friday, also my best bet was 3-1 when I did my selection. The horse eventually jumped at 5-1, winning the race at 5-1 best bet of the day. Now, guys, if you can't make money from that, you'll never make money from outside of Genie or from anybody. Then I also give you suggested trifecta and quartets, which I just saw you. I give you affordable PA and pick sixes. And I can tell you sometimes, most of the time, my pick six only out one leg. But that one leg, if you took my pick six, because my pick six is never more than 150 Rand for 1%. But if you add it on that and say maybe you spend 150, 160, you might have been able then to get that pick six. The other day I gave a pick six for 120 Rand, and we were only out in the first leg. And I should have added that horse that we out, but then, as I said, my budget was restricted. Then in the last race, that was on Saturday, the 40-1 Sinfonico did win. And as a matter of fact, I had the whole of 10 Rand win on Sinfonico or it's actually Sinfonico, I think is all his name. I'm quite nice piece. I just put 10 bucks on it just for luck. But that pick six paid over 350,000 Rand. So what do you get when you get a sheet like this on a WhatsApp group, which is our selections, your pick six selections, PA, trifectas and quartets, value bets, and then our double, all to come doubles. But guys, if you hear in the background, the guy here outside is busy with my garden, so please, I hope that doesn't bother you too much. Then let's have a look at the form for today. Now, guys, what I want to say about this meeting today at the Vaal, what we're having here, we're having maiden plates. Then we have one C division race. And then the rest of the races are maiden handicaps at classified stakes. So my suggestion to you is take the family out for a movie. You're going to just lose your money. The racing is going to be difficult, I think. The fields are big. And I personally think it would be difficult to make money on this field today. And I'm hoping if I can pick up 2 or 3 winners on this 8-rate card, I think I'll be doing well. So let us look at race 1. Race 1 is a maiden plate for work riders, and let's have a look at the betting. Here the betting is as follows. You must excuse me, everything on my computer is slow. They like their boss. Their boss is also slow these days. So, yeah, no, this is one of those things. Guys, I also hope you are somehow in a holiday mood. I have also decided I'm just going to now focus for the next few days on my selections, nothing else. My life partner is on leave, and we're just going to enjoy some time together. And I'm not going to bother about anything else. Just take a few days off in terms of not doing anything else except my horse racing outside of Genie selections. Spend a bit of time on that, and then the rest of the day spend time with my life partner and watch the racing afterwards in the afternoon. She likes to take an afternoon nap, so that's when I then watch the racing. So here we have race number 1, Goodswood, 12-10, 14-10, La Greta, Just as Rich 7-1, Sovereignty 12-1, Freezing Fast 16-1, 50-1, War God, and longer the rest. So let's have a look at the betting here. My selections in this race, my first selection is number 2, Justice Reach, where it's is Buerta is the trainer. Lucera, he's ridden a few winners. His horse took a little bit of time, but he's come to life in his last 2 races. And I think this race behind Mars Rover, I think that form is going to work out. And I like the way the horse ran on, stubborn, slow, but he ran on and he was in contention for most of the time. Then my outsider selections is number 3, Freezing Fast. Jannie Borman, he's from Kimberley. I've known Jannie Borman since the days of Bloemfontein, many moons ago. Yeah, you know, this is not a very successful, and not a very strong field. The horse did run on last time, fastest 400 to finish. Maybe, you know, it is, you know, finding his feet. But in this field, I probably think the horse can maybe place. Then my other outsider selection is number 6, which is Heart of Harlem, Brett Weber stable in form. Yeah, this horse doesn't show much, but I'm just speaking it in terms of that Brett Weber stable is in form. And sometimes, and that's one of the things that I can teach you, sometimes when a stable comes in form, anything can win. I mean, if you look at it, the Corniche stable is in form. And last Saturday, last race, they won with Sing for Nico, which had not good form in his last few races. And here we find number 7, and is ridden by Charles Mabaya, a very good jockey. They bring in this Frankel filly back to 1,000 meters after starting off with 1,200. Now today back in 1,000 meters, I see they popping on the blinkers, so maybe they want the horse to run, up front. So I think Legreta is also a huge runner in this field and can be involved in a finish with number 1, Goodwood, which also have a chance. Paul Peter stable, but they didn't run well last time out, and that puts me off a little bit. But yeah, maybe the horse can pop back. So I think it will be a race between numbers 1, 2, and then La Greta. What is La Greta's number? Number 7, La Greta. Then I also want to just you know, just for your own sake, if you do a quartet, pop in this number 5 in the back end of your quartet, because this is one of these horses. He can run, but doesn't always run like, you know, it's like a in and out sort. But why I'm saying this jockey Karen Fisher, she rode the winner first winner the other day, but she tries hard and she's relatively competent, so she might be able to steer this horse into a 4th place, like there behind 4th Quarry when it jumped at 33-1. So don't let that one run loose. So then we move on to race number 2, which is a C division handicap, merit rated 88, handicap class C, average merit rated 77. Here the betting is race number 2 is as follows: Quantro Passi 14-10, Eagle Alley 16-10, Master Supreme 33-10, Owl in the 3 16-1, 28-1 Contrail, and 40-1 Jackman. So now here in my selections in this race, my first selection is number 1, Master Supreme. As you can see, we are racing here in a Class C, average merit rated 77. This horse has run against far better opposition. 3.5 rings behind, got the green light. You got the green light in, he'll murder them in this race. Here you got Christopher Robin, 83. You put Christopher Robin in this race, he will murder them. Out of your league, not the donkey. Shogun, look there, Shogun, 89. Now this horse down in class, it's come down in a merit rating from 100 to 89. So it's already 11 pounds off. So and it's a small field. I really like the look of Master Supreme today. In the outsider section, I went for number 2, this Dynasty by John Causeway's mare. Nice breeding. This horse was sent to Zimbabwe, came back, and I think it's also ready to find its feet out in the tree. But it's a small field, so you can't go big. Obviously, Quattro Passi also have a chance of Pierce Stradom on board. A little bit lightweight, 54. Yeah, has ruled off two wins in a row after being only took 10 runs to win its maiden. But yeah, can probably follow up Eagle Alley. It's an unknown sort. It's very well bred. He did one well on its maiden, can follow up. Anything can happen. So a small but open race. So then we move on to race number 3, the maiden plate over 1,000 meters. Let's have a look at the betting here. So here we have number 5, Almafi Coast 22 to 10, Shahrukh 5 to 10, 11 to 2, 6 to 11 to 2, Manhattan Magic 6 to 1, Salute the Winter. Time for that 15 to 2, Karoo Space 10 to 1, 16 to 1, and better the rest. Now, I don't know about the ability of the first timer, but what I can tell you now, this number 2, Sanook, he finished stone last on Saturday, 16 links behind the winner. I can't see him win this race. I mean, he have to improve to win this race. I'm not very confident on his chances. So my first selection here, I'm going for number 1, Time for That. I have been following this for a while. It's taking its time to find its feet, but last time out ran nicely, 22.3. Last 400 to finish, which is exceptionally, it is fast. And this horse has also run a third, although 8.5 being an Anna Capri and May Queen. May Queen has won again. Winter's Power has won again. So I think this horse has got a little bit of ability, and I think maybe today, Time for That might be the surprise package here. And for outsider selection, as I said, not a very strong field. So maybe if number 5, Almafi Coast, has a bit of ability, it can win this race. You're going to have to decide how to play this one. Then number 7, Karoo Space, that showed some form. Now over 1,000 meters, Muzieni, maybe probably would the 1,000 meters would suit it better. It was fading on the 1,200. Didn't run too badly, Hans and Nina Amelia. So Karoo Space definitely another chance. And here my other outsider selection is number 8, Limitless. This horse did improve last time out, but finished behind Karoo Space, behind Nina Amelia, but slow, lost 2 links, but still managed to run 23.2, 400 to finish. And its first race behind Big City Girl, he was the fastest 400 to finish. So Limitless, I'm sure, is going to has a chance and can be involved in a finish today. Then we move to race number 4, which is the first of the classified stakes, 1,800 meters. And these races, they always catch me out. Very hard to find a winner. You can normally work here on the best weighted, but sometimes this best weighted that they give is, sometimes they are the really dogs, wrong price horses. But anyway, let's try and see if we can find you the winner. Number 15, Plumfield 5 to 1, Rabia the Rebel 6 to 1, Baymax 7 to 1, Liverpool Legend 7 to 1, Fraud 8 to 1, Shaba Ranks 8 to 1, 10 to 1, French Leaf 14 to 1, Podcast, Pucker Up 14 to 1, Zemes 16 to 1, Shukra 20 to 1, Rocky Path 25, Chevron 33, and Street Flyer 33. Please note, when you see Street Flyer here, you'll see Frankie Fani Broncos is now training on his own. So he's not now with Paul Madgett anymore. So he'll be looking to get his first winners soon. Scratchings number 3, 6, 12, and 18. So how do we go here? We're betting 5 to 1 the field. Yeah, our first selection, we're going to stick with the favorite here. Number 15, Plumfield. This horse always keep on running up on, but he always comes too late. But hopefully today over this 800 meters in a little bit of a weaker field, maybe he can, arrive in time, but not a certainty. But as you can see, Plumfield always running on fastest 400, fastest 400, second fastest 400. So in his last 5 races, he was fastest 400 to finish 4 times out of 5. And the other one, he was second. And sometimes in good times, under 24 seconds, not too bad. So I'm sure Jason Gates will try his best. Maybe if we can get the horse placed a little bit closer to the pace, that should be a race over. One of my other outsiders, the number 6, Pucker Up. You guys know when I first saw this horse run, yes, this horse was like, these first few runs, he was like 100 to 1 and 50 to 1. And I thought this horse will never win a race. But amazingly, he's actually won 2 races, this mare. And yeah, sometimes when she's in the mood, she can run good races. And I think today in this handicap might actually have a chance. So then let's look at my other outsider selection, which is number 11, Shaba Ranks. You guys remember, I don't know if you remember, but when Shaba Ranks went there 25 to 1 at the time of my tipping, I tipped him as my outright winner at 53 to 1. Some guys were shaking their heads. The horse came up. Just another example of how I tip horses. This horse won at 53 to 1 on the 17th of September. And then ran second. And I think today over this distance actually do have another chance again. Muzi Yeni riding and he's riding well at the moment. But really an open field, lots of horses, lots of chances. Just quickly, for interest sake, can Abida scratch Race the Rebel? This is the best weighted Liverpool legend, winning queen. Zemes, who also surprised last time out. Konaispi stable. This horse got up to win. I nearly fell off my chair. But again, I don't know how he does it, but he does it. Konaispi's finding winners like that. So let's move on now to race number 5, which is a maiden handicap. So here we go to the maiden handicaps. So my betting as follows: number 2 Lotus. After betting as follows: number 2 Lotus, 22-10. Joanna S 9-2. On Broadway 5-1. Mode 6-1. You Deserve It 9-1. Flowers Season 12-1. Rosso Meadow 14-1. Grace Lou 16-1. Apple Orchard 20-1, and Better the Rest. Now, guys, what I want to say about these maiden handicaps, what I have observed in most of these races are won by horses in the lower weight category. So what I did was, in this race, I looked for a horse that I can see is not carrying a lot of weight and might have the ability to surprise. And my choice fell on number 9, Grace Lou. Grace Lou, the previous time behind Peace Command, I did like that run. And then last time out, I did actually gave it as one of my outsider selections. The horse didn't win, but what I observed when I watched the race, this horse was running on nicely. And when I'm seeing the time, that just confirm my observation. The horse ran 24.4, second fastest, 400 to finish after being slow. Hopefully, with Jared Pena on board, that he can wake up the horse a little bit, get him better place, and I'm sure then Grace Lou will be running on. And he has got a stable mate here, and that's number 5, Joanna S, which did finish in front of him and can actually do so, but now carrying a little bit more pudding. He's carrying 55, but still getting 5 kilograms from the top weight. So I would be thinking maybe you want to take a exacta here, 5 and 9. Take it a few times, the 2 stable mates. And that's my one outsider selection. My other outsider selection is number 6, You Deserve It. A par 4 by a Jalad Mir. Now, this horse is now going 1,700 meters after going 1,600 meters last time, but has been running there and thereabouts. And I do think with Jason Gates on board, drawn 2, this horse can improve and be involved in a finish. So definitely a horse that you want to include in all your play. And it's just, here's Lotus. There's nothing, Lotus hasn't done nothing wrong. He's carrying 59. He can certainly win this race. He ran behind La Luvia last time. La Luvia ran in a future in Cape Town over the weekend. Yes, Mode, also a horse that's improving. But carrying top weight, but can be involved in a finish with Pierce Stradom on board, also not to left out. So all in all, a very open race, lots of horses with chances. So let's move on to race number 6, which is online, another maiden handicap. Let's have a look at race 6. Here we have the betting as follows: number 11, a tentative 11-2, 11-10, leading lad 22-10, Grace from Above 9-1, fast draw 12-1, Red Bishop 16-1, Royal Seeds 20-1, and 25-1, and longer the rest. Yeah, here in this race, my first selection, I'm going to go for a top weight. I really like the look of this horse's form. Number 1, Leading Lad, Alec Led and Kumalo. And this horse has been improving. And yeah, I think today can be his day. He'll definitely be distance suited and can land up in the winner's box. Then for outsider selections, I went for number 3, Fast Draw. I know Pierce Stradom on board. This horse keeps on, but it can certainly run a place. Maybe outside you want to look. And then number 4, Grace from Above. This Duke of Marmalade called Gelding. He ran behind Narchi last time. Narchi has won again. Before that, behind Eagle Alley. So if Eagle Alley runs a nice race earlier, that will enhance his chances. But yeah, pop in number 4, Graceful Above in your quartets. Then let's go have a look at a favorite number, another favorite number 11. Number 11, Attentive. He improved nicely last time out, running second behind Bold Resolve, and it's only carrying 53.5. So certainly that makes him a big danger in this race, not to be left out. Also Lyle Hewitson on board, so I'm sure this horse has got the potential and can finish first, but my first choice still the number one horse. Then we move on to race number 7, which is another classified stakes. Let's have a look at the betting here. The betting as follows. Number 1, Stormy Winter, 33 to 10. Lady Defiance, 72. Number 99, 6 to 1. Birdwatcher, 8 to 1. Follow My Path, 12 to 1. In the Game, 12 to 1. Super Mufti, 15 to 1. 16 to 1. And longer the rest. Private Ruler, also 16 to 1. And then 20 to 1, Tartan Dancer, Brasway, Master Builder. So let's have a look at the betting. I had a field here. Here, my first selection is number 3, which is Lady Defiance. I'm just working on this horse's first race. He won well, and then he ran behind Snow Palace, which is a very good horse, but has now been off for nearly a year. But I'm sure Michael Lecoq will bring this horse fit um, to the races and can be, can be a contender, but definitely not a certainty. In my outsider selections, I'm going for number 13, which is Private Lure, Fani Broncos. Jalapeno again, drawn 4. This horse has been running well, 3 links, 5 links, 2 links, and behind category 4. Category 4 won a number of races. Taraveda ran a third again yesterday. Dark Tide won a nice race at the Vaal the other day. So this horse has been running against some decent opposition, so can surprise with 54 on his back. And then my other outsider selection is number 10. This is one of my big reasons for selecting this horse is the Brasway. It's Cornay Spies and Samson, and the owner, they've got a good record. They won the other day. They won also with an outsider, and I think this horse has got ability. It's also always not too far behind. 3 links, 3 links, 3 links, 4 links, 5 links, and certainly can be involved in a finish in this race. And then I just want to draw your attention. I didn't put it into my selections, but maybe if you number 11, Flexible Fugitive, pop it in the back end of your quartets, because Dennis Cajun surely has got a very good record at the fall. Then we move on to race number 8, where it's 1,000 meters, another classified stakes. Let's have a look at the betting. Here the betting is April 72, Clinton Binder, Segment 6 to 1, 13 to 2, Barnboord is Pretty Jolly 8 to 1, Snow in Seattle 10 to 1, Panama Kid 12 to 1, Bridge of Spies, Clinton Binder again 14 to 1. He's got a number of horses. Speechmaker 14, Roger the Dodger 16, Successful Secret 20, We All Thomas 20, Bantlaborgi, another Binder 20 to 1, Grunewald 20 to 1, Hertog 28 to 1. Number 7, Lord Ganton 28 to 1, and number 2, Look to the Skies 53 to 1, scratch number 15 indisclosed. Another open race where I'm sitting here with a horse called number 2, Look to the Sky. Now, Look to the Sky is the same trainer as Whirly Whirly. Now, a couple of months ago, I had exactly the same scenario than we're having with Look to the Sky. Whirly Whirly was down in class. He ran against some good horses, and then he was dropped into a D division. He won the race, and since then has won another 2 races and been placed. Now, if you have a look at this horse, number 2, Look to the Sky, you can't see his form because he ran often. But here he ran third behind Donderweer. That was in a sophomore. That was a race that was won 2 Saturdays ago by Sweet Sensation. All right. Then after that, he came in a graduation and he won by 4 links, Land of the Brave. Running from a merit rater from 96, moved up to 102. He's now a 75. He's running against the best horses in South Africa, River Rain. Salon Queen. Holy Man has won a few races. Now you find himself here in a D division, 69. You can't see D division. Here you see a C division behind the river. And I'm thinking that Look to the Sky today can run a huge race. And as I always say, when I tip a 53 to 1 shot, please play it for each way, because yesterday Taraveda, I tipped you that horse. I didn't win. It ran third. It paid R10.90 a place. So do yourself a favor if you're going to follow this. Guys, this is not a certainty. But I'm a form analyzer, and my form analysis is telling me this horse is way down in class. He has got ability. A horse, he has won 3 races now. If you just quickly do this sum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's took off this last 8 races since his last win. So at that stage, he was 10 runs, 3 wins. And the main thing about horses is you will sometimes find that they peak at the same time a year later. So this horse was at his peak last year this time. Then the handicap got hold of him. And it took him 8 races to bring down his merit rating again to maybe be competitive. And that's what it's all about. Mr. Flood. I mean, that horse won future races, or 8 lengths behind, but you put Mr. Flood in this race. You put Riverine in this race. Riverine will probably won by 20 lengths. Shalom Queen, no donkey. So, okay, so I'm done trying to convince you about that horse. That is my choice. Number 2, Look to the Sky. Outsider selections, number 4, Hertog. Hertog also horse. Used to be a 89, now a 73. Same. B division, C division, B division, C division. Also ran against some decent opposition. Eden Rock is a multiple grade 1 winner. Now here the horse, last time he ran against Kaysen, also a 83, now running in a 69. Similar situation, definitely in with a chance. And then my other outsider selection is number 11, Roger the Dodger. Now, nice piece again, Samson, Houston, I'm putting it in. This horse has won his maiden. Any horse in my eyes that wins his maiden first time out is a good horse. And I know this breeding Patchouli, very well bred by Spectrum. That is really, really good breeding, captain of all Patchouli. A 4-year-old only has had 5 runs. Came back after a long rest. I'm sure he needed that runs, but this horse is going to peak one of these days, and it can be today, Roger the Dodger. So then if you want to go down here, number 17, Pretty Jolly, also down in the handicap. He is a reserve runner, no more. He did qualify to run because of the scratching. Has run some decent races, also horse that you can follow and include into your calculations. So that brings us to the end of our preview video for today. I hope I could have pointed you in the right direction to win a few bucks. And as I always say, break a leg.